again, welcome to my channel. If you are new, I am so glad you found me. And if you have been here before, oh my God, you came back and I'm so glad you popped on. Thank you. My name is Alonda Carter and I'm a recovering Hunbot. On my channel, I cover r/anti-MLM and leverage my personal Hunbot experience. I also cover other Reddit material from time to time, and I draw on my expertise as an instructional designer, giving you tips on how to create online courses. Today's video will cover part 2 of a paper presented at the International Cultic Studies Conference that took place earlier this year in Manchester, England. If you know someone or if you have ever been part of an MLM, what I'm about to share with you will probably hit home. I know it does for me. Honestly, when I was in the thick of my Hunbotness, I was such an advocate for the company I was associated with. And as educated as I am, 4 degrees in total, I did not see clearly. I think I was blinded because I had been treated so poorly when I went through breast cancer and subsequently was laid off. I was seeking something other than working in a large organization, and I really did not want to keep on doing the work of an instructional designer, even though my second advanced degree is in instructional technology. I was at a vulnerable place mentally, and the MLM seemed to be the answer, but it wasn't. I don't want this video to be too long, so I will create a part 3 so you don't have to listen to me yabber forever and a day. So let's go ahead and jump into part 2 of coercive techniques and business opportunity cults. 3. The common elements of the MLM recruitment process. This section identifies 10 features of MLM recruitment which are common to the MLM systems I have studied. I have utilized a variety of sources, including books by my former MLM distributors, documentaries, and MLM training videos. The sources range from books published in the 1980s through documentaries and videos recorded within the past few months, and from a number of different MLM firms. The same themes have been repeated with little or no variation from MLM to MLM for decades. A. The curiosity approach. The MLM experience is mired in deception from the very beginning, including the initial contact with a prospective MLM distributor. MLM recruiters are trained to misrepresent the purpose of the contact or the nature of the opportunity, or both. Very often, the recruiter will at least hint at the potential for vast financial rewards without disclosing that those rewards are experienced by only a tiny fraction of participants, or that the recruiter herself has not experienced those rewards. This is where the infamous MLM phrase, "fake it till you make it," first comes into play. How can you attract someone to this lucrative opportunity unless you have been conspicuously rewarded with lucre? The recruiter may initiate the contact by asking the prospect for assistance with something, or by asking the prospect for their opinion on the company's products. Amway distributors are taught the quote-unquote form, F-O-R-M, method, under which the prospect is engaged with questions about their family, occupation, recreation, or money. The purpose of these contacts is to engage the prospect in a brief dialogue, which will result in their agreeing to come to a meeting. In their initial approach to the prospect, recruiters are trained to refrain from disclosing the name of the company or that it involves multi-level marketing or even selling. I was clearly coached to make certain not to use the words Amway, products, or selling in the phone calls to friends, as one person says. As described by Ruth Carter, video and audio tapes used for prospecting were generic and did not mention Amway or selling. Prospects are told as little as possible and guided into reserving any questions until they attend a meeting with the recruiter and their upline. Carter reports that Her sponsors told her to do everything that she could to delay it until she could get me to a meeting. Over and over again, speakers on tapes and at seminars and rallies, introductory seminars and major functions drum into distributors' minds the phrase, never mention Amway products or selling when you are talking to a prospect. Instead, MLM trainers advise that the opportunity be described in vague terms. Are you interested in some extra money or as a retirement plan? Even at the follow-up meeting where the business plan is presented, the recruiter or presenter waits until close to the end before mentioning the name of the company. The word Amway was spoken only once in the 2-hour presentation. As a new recruit, I invite you, a relative, friend, and acquaintance, to my home for an evening, but I won't mention Amway. Not when I contact you or when I invite you to the meeting or even when the meeting starts. Instead, my objective is to get you all to look at the business opportunity without disclosing what it is. Butterfield explains that no one should hear or guess the word Amway until the plan man unfolds his poster at the end. The curiosity approach in MLM recruiting persists to this day. A recent BBC documentary noted that MLM pitches are often portrayed as job opportunities, but very few of them say what the job really is. For example, a recruiter may be soliciting for new skin, but sellers almost never reveal that in their posts. A recent instructional video available on YouTube warns new distributors that we don't want our prospects asking a bunch of questions on the phone. The video provides the following script. Hey Joe, what's going on? This is Tanya. I'm in a big rush. I don't have a lot of time. I'm about to hop into a meeting. Do you have a quick minute? Now the elements to be there are, be in a hurry, all right? Because Joe might ask me a bunch of questions and you're not prepared to answer. You want Joe to get to the presentation because the presentation is going to answer all the questions. The instructor emphasizes that the best professionals in network marketing, even though we could explain everything, we don't, for many good reasons. Similarly, in an instructional video on attraction marketing, the trainer urges participants to refrain from identifying their company or their products in order to attract potential leads. These lessons are among the first signs taught to new distributors who are learning how to recruit. Lest the new inductee show some reluctance to deceive the friends, family members, and acquaintances whom they will be recruiting, the trainer has a ready answer. If the prospect has heard bad things about the company or about MLM, they might turn down the invitation and thereby lose out on a great opportunity. By withholding the name of the company or the fact that it involves MLM, the recruiter is actually doing the prospect a favor. We were instructed not to tell people any details on the phone in order to protect them from having their own inaccurate perceptions cost them their entire future. Why the mystery? Why the deception? What are the good reasons why MLM recruiters don't explain everything? In the case of older, more widely known MLMs like Amway or Nu Skin, the recruiter may want to avoid any negative connotations associated with the company. MLM in general has a negative image, so recruiters may want to avoid that label, and most people don't like the idea of selling or don't consider themselves to be good salespeople. In addition, refraining from identifying the opportunity prevents the prospects from doing any independent research or thinking. The prospect will go to the first meeting knowing little more than their recruiter, usually a friend or a family member, is very enthused about the exciting new opportunity. All they know is that the recruiter has found a mysterious, almost magical solution to their financial woes, and they want to share it with the prospect. B. Meetings, testimonials, and the great leader. Omnipresent in the MLM world are meetings, ranging from weekly or monthly meetings in living rooms to annual extravaganzas held in resort hotels. The meetings follow a planned, orchestrated format, a kind of drama pageant observed and duplicated strictly in widely separated functions from Nova Scotia to Florida. New prospects who are attending their first meetings are targets of love bombing, and relentlessly positive distributors will gush about the good fortune that led the prospect to this opportunity. The meetings are not merely held to recruit new prospects. More importantly, they serve to motivate existing distributors to continue the endless grind of recruiting. To be successful in this business, you need big belief, which you'll get and you'll grow as you come to the event after event after event. Butterfield describes Amway meetings that would last from early afternoon to late at night, up to 12 hours with no breaks. As to breaks, one speaker said, "If I answer the call of nature during a seminar, I might miss the very thing that will enable me to go crown." Carter reports similar experiences. Those distributors who are winners and serious stay glued to their seats throughout the entire function. After all, if you get up and walk around or leave early, you might miss the one important statement that can propel you to diamond. The Secrets documentary includes footage of several such meetings, indicating that the meeting remains an essential element of the MLM experience. The main events at MLM functions are the rags to riches testimonials by high-ranking distributors. The personal story is a product of duplication, a consciously arranged narrative, always similar from rally to rally and place to place, always leading to the main theme: Amway saves. There is hope with soap. You can do it too. The salvation offered at these meetings is not merely financial. Distributors are being given the chance to make the world a better place. For instance, in a meeting taped by the Secrets documentary, a speaker states that prior to this opportunity, he felt that he was not destined to do anything special. At another meeting, the speaker instructs attendees to raise their phones and turn on the flashlight. Every light represents a woman who has the potential to change someone else's life. Each speaker builds up anticipation for the next, even higher level speaker, leading to a crescendo when the leader or founder of the company is introduced. They genuinely see the CEO as this massive, godly person. To be selected to go on stage is a great honor reserved for distributors who have achieved certain milestones, levels of recruitment or purchased volume. At the lower levels, the honor may simply be to be on the stage with a group of other similarly qualified distributors, but not permitted to speak. At a higher level, the distributor may be permitted to make a brief positive statement about the company, but only at the very highest level will the distributor be invited to give their full story, including their miserable life before they were introduced to the opportunity, their faltering first experiences in the company before they followed the recruitment system promoted by their upline, and then their magical ascent to unimaginable success. Here again, there is likely to be much faking it without really making it. Scheibauer, I can't say that name, for example, who achieved the emerald level in the Amway system and had a 2,000 member downline, was a featured speaker at many Amway events, despite being deeply in debt. C. What are your dreams and fears? Early on in the recruitment process, the MLM recruiter will ask about the prospect's dreams and fears. The focus on dreams, rather than the nuts and bolts of the business opportunity, is an essential feature of the MLM pitch. Carter reports that the dream session is typically the longest part of the initial presentation. This is where the speaker talks to the prospect about goals and then discusses some common hot button. Schleid, the one name I can't say, reports a similar experience. Somewhat to our surprise, Carrie and Chris did not want to talk much about Amway at all. Instead, they helped us focus on creating a list of our dreams and goals. Sure, we wanted to be debt-free, have a nice home in a safe neighborhood, drive newer cars and safer cars, vacation, help our parents be together. What did that have to do with how this business worked? According to Butterfield, at every seminar, distributors are urged to write down their personal goals. We were supposed to cut out pictures and tape them to the refrigerator door. Leaders are taught to become familiar with the goals of their people. My direct asked me to see my written list and came to my house to check the refrigerator. Once the recruiter and their upline identifies the dreams of the prospect, they have a powerful weapon. It will be the objective of the upline directs in their association with a potential leader to find out his hot button, that is, his particular needs and greeds. If he likes cars, they take him to a Mercedes or Porsche dealer and have him test drive the most expensive models. If he likes homes, they take him on tours through wealthy neighborhoods. If he wants to escape his 9-to-5 job, they might invite him at 2 in the morning and invite him to a poolside party. They suddenly look at their watches and exclaim, "Oh no, we forgot, you've got a job." The emphasis on dreaming remains a crucial element in the MLM recruitment and retention machine today. As a recruiter named Tyler Blue explains in the Secrets documentary, it's all about finding people's weak points. And that sounds really horrible, but finding people's weak points, if someone's put on their social media, "Oh, I absolutely would love to have a coat, but I don't have enough money for it yet," there's a clue. That's a weak point. Well, I can see that this person's not got enough money. Or if someone's talking about them not having enough time to spend with their children, that's like, "Oh, I can give you a bit more time because I can give you a business opportunity." The importance of the dream sessions is also revealed when, after a few months, the distributor shows signs of lacking enthusiasm. By this point, the distributor will have experienced rejection from many of their prospects, constant demands on time and energy for attending meetings and training sessions, tension from disapproving friends and family, and tiny commission checks which do not come close to recouping their investment in inventory and tools. As explained in a recent instructional video, this is the time for the upline distributor to remind you of what you said and go, "Were you serious about what you said you wanted more time with your family?" Goaded by a combination of guilt and shame, the distributor's easiest course of action may be to stay with the program just a few more months. Thus, the dream session is not only a recruitment tool, but a retention tool. D. MLM is the answer. Whatever the prospect's dreams and fears might be, MLM is the answer. Financial troubles will be a thing of the past. We don't have to do the full-time 9-to-5 anymore. Butterfield explains that as a distributor, I am in possession of secret knowledge which the prospect will not realize until the appropriate moment. The key to salvation, the means of making dreams come true. In fact, not only will be joining the MLM provide the specific remedy for whatever financial issue is identified by the prospect, it will also provide a means for the prospect to change the world for the better. Being in the business was not only a great financial opportunity, but also a means by which you could improve every aspect of your life. Distributors are told that they are on a global mission. This is not just a product distributorship. Network marketing is the single-handedly best thing you can ever do for your children. You will become limitless. A recent documentary recorded former LuLaRoe distributors reportedly ostensibly positive experience such as, LuLaRoe made me feel so good about me. It boosted my self-confidence. I feel like I found my place again. Instantly, I had this huge network of women who wanted nothing but the best for me. They became like sisters. Every single time anything good happened, I had an entire brigade of women behind me that were like, go you! And I was like, yes! And it felt amazing. You felt like the best person ever. You felt like a celebrity. LuLaRoe became more than just a company, it became a lifestyle. LuLaRoe's founder, Deanne Stedman, stated, as you choose to be lifted by one another, and everything is up in place where you can make your life better. The intended effect of this message is to strengthen the commitment to the organization, that is, to increase retention and continued purchases by the distributors, who will feel that if they drop out, they are not only losing the financial investments they have made, but also abandoning the promise of a better life for themselves and everyone they know. But Amway recruiters do not just want your money, they want your whole life. E, recruiting is the answer. Sorry, I have to keep on taking sips of water. As discussed above, the primary distinction between pyramid schemes and legitimate MLMs is whether the focus of the company is on retailing products or recruiting additional distributors. While a scientific survey has not been done, the experiences documented in the books and films referenced above demonstrate an overwhelming focus on recruitment. For instance, in the Secrets documentary, an MLM trainer says, RTA, recruiting is the answer. And you will not become a 6 or 7 figure earner if you don't build a team. You can't do that just on selling. Another MLM trainer recorded in the Secrets documentary, Tyler Blue, explains very candidly, I'm going to be doing some training on recruiting this evening. So a lot of people get confused with this business because it is a beauty business that they think they've got to sell products, but actually this is a recruitment business. A former Unique employee explained that makeup is not what Unique is marketing. They're marketing a lifestyle. They're marketing a dream. They're marketing a support group. So the majority of the promotions we put on are focused on recruitment. Similarly, a LuLaRoe distributor said that they really pushed recruiting. If it's a warm body, take them. F, follow the plan and duplicate. All MLM programs have some version of a plan by which new distributors are trained and guided to become part of the recruitment process. These plans vary in their details, but most contain each of the elements outlined in this paper. The plans are usually quite specific and cover every detail of the process, from compiling a list of prospects, making the initial solicitation, inviting the prospect to a meeting, closing the deal, training the new distributor in the plan, and motivating new distributor to follow through, thereby duplicating the process with their list of prospects. The importance of duplication is emphasized at every meeting. The instruction regarding the necessity for exact duplication have been quite clear. Distributors are cautioned against deviating from the plan in any detail. The only way to become a winner is through this plan. In many MLM organizations, these plans are developed and marketed by very high-level distributors, and the sale of the plans becomes an additional profit center for the upline distributors. In Amway, these systems are referred to as Amway Motivational Organizations. Kern, Scheiblerger, I cannot say that name, and Carter describe how they work in detail and explain how top Amway distributors earn much of their income from selling the tools, books and tapes, to their downlines and requiring their downlines to purchase tickets for the frequent meetings and events where the systems are marketed along with Amway. Butterfield notes that distributors were expected to buy tapes and listen to them every day. In Herbalife, the plan refers to as lead generation systems were developed and sold by its high-level distributors to their downline distributors. under such names as Newest Way to Wealth, Financial Success System, and Vertical Skip Marketing. Herbalife shut down most of these systems during the course of the FTC investigation. Following these plans demands a substantial commitment of time and money. Schleifer, name I can't say, reports that our schedule was one unending training session, seminars, product fairs, promotional trips, open meetings, house meetings, and follow-ups. A Nu Skin distributor stated it's a 24 hours a day. You eat, sleep, and breathe it. A LuLaRoe distributor reports she was live streaming on Facebook for 2 to 4 hours a day, and another states that she was doing all the things they told her to be successful, including buying a lot of LuLaRoe. In some systems, Amway being a prime example, following the plan extends to guidelines into how distributors dress and conduct themselves in public. Butterfield states that distributors were taught the importance of dressing for success and that dress expectations come from the top down. There was public humiliation for non-conformers. Butterfield also explains that Amway distributors are also told to consult with their upline before making any major decisions. Before you buy a house, check it out with your upline. In LuLaRoe, a distributor reported that she and other distributors received substantial pressure to undergo weight reduction surgery. You have to look a certain way. You have to be a certain way. G. MLM language and proverbs. MLM has its own language, somewhat mystifying for prospects and non-MLMers. Where normal words have abnormal meanings, and abnormal words are coined for concepts that have no parallel in the non-MLM world. To begin with, participants may avoid the term multi-level marketing, which may have a bad reputation, in favor of more innocuous terms like network marketing, referral marketing, or direct selling. The new distributor will have to learn terms like downline, the group of distributors you recruited, plus the distributors they recruited, and so on down the chain. Upline, the distributor who recruited you, plus the distributor who recruited your recruiter, and so on up the chain. And not found in any other line of business. And cross-line, other distributors in your company but not in your upline or downline. The complex web of these relationships is considered genealogy. The word recruiting may be abandoned in favor of more innocuous terms like sponsoring. Selling may be replaced with sharing. There are special terms for each level of the compensation plan. New distributors may start the recruitment activities with their warm market, friends and family members, and then expand to their cold market, acquaintances, or persons contacted through some lead generation system. In the Amway system, the phrase drawing circles or spinning circles refers to the process of showing the Amway sales and marketing plan. Stinkin' thinking refers to any thought or statement that is negative about Amway. Additional obscure terms are used in MLM compensation plans. In some plans, inventory purchases by distributors are considered personal volume, while purchases by their downline count toward their group volume, unless the downline distributor has reached a certain level in the plan, in which case they break away and their volume no longer counts towards their upline's group volume, although it will generate commissions or bonuses or whatever other terms may be used for the upline, provided that they maintain the requisite inventory purchase qualifications for their level. In matrix plans, the number of frontline distributors is limited, such that any additional recruits spill over and are added to your second line or below. When a distributor fails to purchase sufficient volume to meet their qualifications, the commissions that would have been paid to them are instead paid to the next upline distributor who does meet their qualifications, a process called rolling up or compulsion. In addition to new terminology, MLM firms have developed a series of pat answers to common questions or objections. A distributor who resists buying the requisite amount of inventory will be told that you got to be a product of the product. In the Amway system, when a distributor asks his upline why he needs tools, he will be told one of a number of variations on a theme. Well, if you were a carpenter, you wouldn't think of going to work without your hammer, saw, screwdriver, etc. The tapes and books are your tools for building a successful Amway business. Tools are optimal but so is success. Every trade has its own tools. If you want to become successful, you'll have to learn how successful people think. The tapes and books will help you do that. Tools will help you grow as a person. Tools will increase your sponsoring rate. Schleiber, the name I can't pronounce, reports that when we questioned about the apparent pyramid nature of the business, we were advised that no one makes more money off your business than you. Carrie later informed us, this is a legal requirement that keeps this business from being an illegal pyramid. Other sayings include, if a guy lost his shirt in Amway, it must have been a pretty cheap shirt. A favorite topic of MLM recruiters is the foolishness of working for someone else. That is, having a job. Typical sayings include, if you have a job, you may be just over broke, or job, journey of the broke. Overcoming objections is a common theme of MLM training sessions. The name I can't pronounce was taught objections that. Objections are positive signs of interest. Here are 3 proven ways to handle them using the feel, felt, found method. I know how you feel. I felt the same way, but this is what I found. Another version of this exchange is explained in a recent MLM training video. If the prospect says, I don't have the money for this, or I don't have the time, the recruiter should begin their response by agreeing, of course, followed up by, that's why I'm talking about this opportunity with you. Don't you think this is something you should consider? Okay, I am going to end there. There is more to this, and I will continue it in part 3. But as I read this yet again, I just keep on thinking of, and there I walked. That too was me. Yes, I said these things. I thought these things. This is what happened to me with the opportunity I was in, and it's, I will have to say, it tugs at the heart a bit to be like, wow, what I was in is what I thought it was. It just wasn't. And it's really difficult to admit. It's so very difficult to admit. And I think that's why so many people, just like when they leave, they don't want people to know that they didn't succeed. If you have been impacted by an MLM, meaning you joined and found that, building a business is not what you expected because the system is set up against you, I urge you to speak out. The best thing you can do is file a report with the FTC. People impacted by MLMs typically are very unlikely to file reports. I think that has to do with, that whole being embarrassed and ashamed, and the MLMs are counting on that. Until more people flood the FTC about each incident from each company, nothing will change. Your voice adds fuel to the fire. The only way we can make change is to speak out. MLMs count on the fact you will not take action. I hope you will join me, if I can speak, which I can't, my voice is running out, and share your story, or encourage someone else that you know who has been impacted by an MLM to share their story. If you like this type of content, then, consider subscribing to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. And if you know someone that you think, could benefit from this video, share it with them. I really appreciate you taking time to be here. And remember, change starts now.